You're watching Vnews Bulletin. I'm Vungo presenting you today top stories as usual.
National Assembly discusses implementation of socio-economic development plans. Justice Ministry in Haiphong top Public Administration Reform Index. And later on, SEA Games 31 lynches long in heart of sport lovers.
Continuing the working agenda of the 15th National Assembly's third session, deputies on May 25th discussed in groups a number of issues, including the supplementary assessment of the implementation of the socio-economic development plans and state budget in 2021.
Legislators share the view that despite unprecedented difficulties caused by COVID-19, the country's socio-economic development still saw good signs last year. 7 out of 12 socio-economic targets were achieved, the macroeconomy was kept stable, and the consumer price index inched up only 1.84%, they said. The lawmakers attributed the results to great efforts of the whole political system and the support of the people and businesses as well as international community. The deputies highlighted the transition from COVID-19 prevention and control strategy to the safe and flexible adaptation to and effective control of the pandemic. Many deputies voiced the view that consistent policies on economic reopening are needed in order not to miss out on opportunities, along with more breakthrough measures to recover strongly.
Public Administration Reform Index or PAR Index Rankings 2021 were released on May 25th. Join us to see more in the following report.
According to the Department of Administrative Reforms, under the Ministry of Home Affairs, 19 ministries and sectors and all the 63 provinces and centrally run cities were surveyed. Accordingly, the Ministry of Justice, the Ministry of Finance, and the State Bank of Vietnam recorded the Public Administration Reform Index of over 90%. The Ministry of Justice topped the list with 91.9%. Among the 63 localities, 3 had indexes of over 90%, including Haiphong at the first place. Quảng Ngãi province enjoyed the most index growth, 13.2%, while Dong Nai, Tiên Sang, and Hà Nam are only 3 provinces that saw declines. This time, the survey collected feedback from over 49,600 civil servants, leaders and managers of ministries and localities, nearly 30,000 people and enterprises, along with some associations and organizations.
The state-owned Vietnam Expressway Corporation will implement automatic non-stop toll collection on all 5 expressways under its management across the country by the third quarter of this year.
The Vietnam Expressway Corporation said it completed the installation and put into operation the ETC system of the Cầu Gié Ninh Bình Expressway from June 2020. The system is currently operating effectively, with the service rate accounting for 51% of the whole line's revenue. The remaining expressways include Nội Bài Lào Cai, Ho Chi Minh City Long Thành Dầu Dây, Bến Lức Long Thành, Đà Nẵng Quảng Ngãi, and some other sections of Cầu Gié Ninh Bình. The corporation approved and issued bidding documents for selecting ETC service providers from May this year. It was expected that the company would close the bid on May 25th and complete the contractor selection on June 30th.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development on May 25th held an online meeting with Chinese partners on the consumption of Theo lychee.
Thanks to the favorable weather and the close control of growing apricots, the quality of Bắc Giang's lychee this year is higher than in previous years, a provincial leader said. This year, Bắc Giang expects to sell about 108,000 tons of lychee, with 60% in the domestic market and around 72,000 tons abroad. At the meeting, the Chinese side suggested Bắc Giang province enhance its management of the quality of the lychee as well as epidemic control to ensure non-stop supply chain. The event also served as a forum for domestic and foreign businesses to find partners and sign contracts for lychee this year.
Vietnamese businesses are seeking to export more fresh and processed dragon fruits to Australia and New Zealand as the demand for these fruits in both markets is increasing.
Dragon fruit is one of Vietnam's key export products to the two high-end markets. According to Vietnamese Trade Office in Australia, Vietnam has exported fresh dragon fruits to Australia since 2017, with the export value growing every year. Vietnam's dragon fruit export turnover to Australia surged by 36% in 2020 and 14% in 2021. Dragon fruit is Vietnam's most successful export fruit to New Zealand, with consecutive growth from 2024 to now. After the COVID-19 pandemic, the demand for dragon fruit products in New Zealand has increased sharply. Vietnamese export businesses are advised to ensure regulations on origin, phytosanitary, and quality certificates when shipping their products to Australia.
Vietnam's exports to Canada reeled in over $2 billion in the first 4 months of this year, up over 31% year-on-year.
Last year, despite COVID-19, Vietnam shipped goods worth $5.3 billion to Canada, an annual increase of 20.8%. Vietnam signed a free trade agreement with Canada, therefore enjoying tariff reduction and elimination. Notably, since January 1, 2021, Canada removed a total of 96.3% of the tax lists for goods originated from Vietnam. According to the Vietnam Trade Office in Canada, Vietnam is the biggest partner in Southeast Asia of the North American nation. However, room for Vietnamese products to enter the Canadian market remains large, as the value now just accounts for 1.7% of Canada's total imports. In addition to these advantages, the access to this market is facing various challenges, particularly high transport and preservation costs, and strict safety and technical standards.
The 31st Southeast Asian Games, or SEA Games 31, wrapped up in Hanoi on May 23rd, but memories of the region's biggest sporting event will linger long in the hearts of sports lovers.
SEA Games 31 saw the participation of nearly 5,000 athletes. Nearly 3,000 volunteers took part. As many as 526 medals were presented, while more than 30 new records were set. These figures represent the enormous effort of Vietnam as host of SEA Games 31 amid the ongoing complexities of COVID-19.
And I'm also here as Speaker of Parliament on the invite of my counterpart, the Chairman of the National Assembly. I'm very grateful for the hospitality extended to us and my delegation, as well as all the Singaporeans who are here. Organizing the SEA Games is not easy.
During the 3-week event, stadiums and gymnasiums in 12 cities and provinces were packed with spectators. Interest among the population will make a significant contribution to promoting the country's sporting development in the time ahead.
Prior to the SEA Games, we acknowledged that it will be very difficult due to COVID-19. However, the pandemic has been largely brought under control, and we received strong support from spectators.
SEA Games 31 was held amid COVID-19, so it's considered a precious experience for subsequent host countries.
The venues for competitions in Hanoi and other localities were well organized, from the workplaces for the media to the accommodation for the athletes. Cambodia gained a lot of experiences to host SEA Games 32.
This farewell image of Myanmar athletes with Vietnamese volunteers speaks to the affection foreign teams have for the host country. Thank you for joining us. Vietnam, a friendly and hospitable land. Goodbye and see you in Cambodia in 2023.
Hanoi welcomed 700,000 domestic tourists and 31,448 foreigners who visited or participated in events of the recently concluded SEA Games 31, the Municipal Department of Tourism announced on May 24th.
As of May 23rd, 18 hotels in Hanoi had accommodated more than 5,600 Vietnamese and foreign delegates, referees, athletes, and reporters. In addition, other accommodations facilities stood ready to welcome tourists traveling to Hanoi during the Games. The Department of Tourism asked the relevant agencies to roll out new tourism products at the capital city's famous attractions such as the Hoan Kiem Lake Pedestrian Zone, Thang Long Imperial Citadel, and Ba Chang Pottery Village. It has organized numerous events and festivals for SEA Games 31st, namely Hanoi Gift Festivals and Sontai Du Soi Tourism Year. With 40 sports, SEA Games 31st took place in Hanoi and 11 nearby localities from May 12 to 23rd. The biennial events were initially slated for late 2021, but delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
A number of traditional handcrafts in Vietnam have fallen into oblivion as new technologies emerged during the Industry 4.0 era. Bookbinding first appeared in the country more than 1,500 years ago, but is not widely known or maintained as a traditional craft. One young man, though, learned this craft on his own, and his efforts have caught widespread attention.
Chung Hill said a normal book can take about 1 week to rebind, whereas more complex books may take several weeks or even months. Rebinding a book involves 5 main stages, including assessing the task, unbinding the book, creating new structure, adding new binding, and then decorating it.
Bookbinding did not originate in Vietnam, but in Europe and the Middle East. So documents and teachers are rare in the country. Difficulty like this, however, only pique my curiosity, and I really want to keep bookbinding alive. It took me 2 years to complete one notebook. When I first started, I didn't have any instructions or tools of any kind. Fortunately, my language skills was enough for me to understand foreign documents and then tinker around.
Despite having to overcome many challenges in learning the rare art form, he still loves the work.
I hope that bookbinding will become more popular in Vietnam. I think young Vietnamese can quickly make a mark in the field internationally.
As an enthusiast for vintage things and having started out in bookbinding when he was a freshman at the Hanoi University of Industrial Finance, he values what he makes with his own hands and devotes all of his energy and enthusiasm to the task. Through his skilled hands, our books take on a new appearance.
The European Film Festival 2022 is underway in 4 cities of Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City, Da Nang and Da Lat after a long hiatus due to COVID-19.
As many as 17 European films are introduced during the festival, which is expected to help cinephilia to have the chance to gain a more multifaceted perspective on European life and culture, as well as helping to shine light on certain struggles people face. Besides, plans to showcase a wide selection of carefully curated and diverse films that have previously won international awards are being showcased. Some of the other famous films screened during the event include Oscar and Lily, Where No One Knows Us, Letters from Antarctica, Into the Darkness, and The Cleaners. All the films will have subtitles in both Vietnamese and English.
And that's the end of our bulletin. Thank you for being here with us. We hope to see you again soon.